I'm actually kind of shocked to see another one of these late night left-wing hosts defending Donald Trump. I did a video the other day about Bill Maher, so we can go over a bit of that later on. Bill Maher defended Trump, both for the same reasons. Trevor Noah says Trump is the first president to actually deliver on campaign promises. That's not even true. But Trump is, what I mean is, Trump is delivering on many of his campaign promises, not all of them. But certainly there have been other presidents who have delivered on certain promises, not all of them. Why is it that Trevor Noah is now warming up to President Donald Trump? I think, for one thing, you are not going to escape that the economy is doing really, really well. No one's going to get away from that. I've tried to hire people, and they're booked for months. Because I'm doing I've got like the van project going on. I'm currently working with somebody on that. If you're not familiar, I got a cool van thing happening. We're going to do road trips and on-the-ground reports and interviews. But I've tried hiring other people, and yeah, the economy is doing really, really well. So I think as we're moving into election season, you are going to notice that as much as the polls are likely wrong, middle Americans are very much happy with the economy. And if all you do is rag on Trump all day and night, eventually you run off a cliff and regular people are confused. This may actually be holding their ratings down. All of a sudden they then see Trevor Noah and Bill Maher come out and say, oh, well, both who have been very critical of Trump. Now, before we dive into this story, go to timcast.com/donate if you'd like to support my work. There's a monthly donation option. Cryptocurrency address is a physical address. Summer months get pretty bad with viewership dropping, so that means revenues go down across the board. And I'm trying to expand. We're launching Subverse, so, all of your support helps. But more importantly, you can just share the video, click that like button, because it tells YouTube that apparently I'm doing a good job and people should watch what I'm doing. So the like button apparently works. If you don't like it, then don't do it, whatever. Let's hear what they got to say over at Fox News. Daily Show host Trevor Noah appeared on Jimmy Kimmel Live on Thursday night and offered some rare praise for President Trump for being the first president to actually deliver on his campaign promises. Well, he's certainly delivering on sending illegal immigrants to Democratic cities. That was shocking. Noah, 35, began by knocking critics who claimed he wasn't angry enough when he first took over The Daily Show in 2015 from Jon Stewart. He said, when I took over The Daily Show, everyone was like, what are you going to make jokes about? And then one of the main things people have said to me was, they said, you're just not angry enough, Trevor. Where's your indignation? And I was like, what do you have to be angry about? Things are going great right now. Your economy is growing. Your president is loved. Your footprint around the world is one that's being cemented as a superpower. What are you angry about? Slow clap. What are you angry about? Seriously, listen. Here's the thing, let me do this. I've shown this a couple times, and this is my moral foundations test. And why is it that I can recognize things are going really great and be happy? It's because, yes, you can clearly see my care and fairness are really high. That's a liberal trait. Liberals have very high care and fairness. Conservatives have an even across the board. My purity, loyalty, and authority are actually kind of low. It is what it is. My liberty is very high. So here's what I see when Trevor Noah says something like this. Trump is kind of mean. Yeah, he says mean things. He does mean things. And I understand why that makes people upset. At the same time, I'm not a crazy person and can recognize that if things are going better for a lot of people, then by all means, don't like him personally and call it the bad things he does. Yemen, Saudi Arabia, Syria missile strikes, the list goes on. But you still have to recognize when things are going well. And this is what's mind-numbing to me, how it's like, you're not allowed to have any praise for the president at all. It's like, no, let's be reasonable. There's the nuance in all things. It's not black and white. There are subtle differences here. Trump isn't just this evil, orange man bad. Some things are good, some things are bad. And more importantly, by all means, hate him. But his policies are different. What's happening with the country is different. What does his personality have to do with the policies he's implementing and the boom in the economy? For sure, you can talk about how it's a short-term gain. A lot of people believe this is going to be short-lived and then it's going to come tumbling down later. I don't know about any of that. All I know is things are going pretty well. And even Trevor Noah and Bill Maher admit, and I shouldn't even say admit. I think it's a fair point they're bringing up. Admitting it, Fox News says Bill Maher admits in exchange, we can't ignore the economy is booming. But admit implies that, Bill Maher's acting in bad faith. Like he doesn't want anyone to realize there's good things going on. No, I think Bill Maher and Trevor Noah are making a good faith point that, hey man, look, the economy's doing well. You want to rag on Trump all day and night, but things are going well. I gotta be honest. I really do believe the hate for Trump is fake. A lot of it is fake. Listen, when you see people like Jim Carrey go on Twitter and they rant and rave and wave their arms all crazy in the air, posting this ridiculous nonsense, there are a lot of people who are posting stuff about what's happening in Alabama and Georgia, but they're not actually making points. They are literally virtue signaling. Now, I know virtue signal can mean nothing to many people. What they're doing is they're arguing to their own tribe to earn points within their own tribe. They're not actually trying to make a point. They're not trying to win any arguments. They're just trying to make sure everyone knows where they stand. So let me make another point. I worked in nonprofits. I quite literally was an activist, started working for nonprofits to raise money for causes, and then, got into this for political reasons. It was because I was working with hackers to help establish a free exchange of information. I don't care for political agendas. I care for the right to free expression and the right to knowledge. Knowledge, if you know what I mean. So you see these celebrities who are now claiming to be activists, who are so outraged by Trump. No. They're celebrities who are trying to convince a large enough amount of people to support them because that's what their net worth is. Was Kathy Griffin, marching down the streets, for these big activist causes and working with nonprofits? Maybe she was. Maybe she was. But the point I'm trying to make is many of these celebrities are not. They're comedians. They go on TV. They make jokes. They want an audience. They serve as a brand ambassador for companies. Jim Carrey. Why is Jim Carrey famous? When you put Jim Carrey in a movie, the movie is likely to sell more tickets. He is an advertising tool. Do you think Jim Carrey actually cares about these politics? No, of course not. These are people who got into an industry to be famous. That's all they want, and I don't trust them. Sure, some of them actually are doing good, doing well. But I mean doing good, like good things. Chris Evans, as much as a lot of people have criticism for him, is trying to do like a bipartisan thing, bring people together. Not perfect, but I can respect it. Well, let's read on about Trevor Noah. He goes on to say, and then people had all of this faux anger, and they were like, you've got to be angry. And I was like, there's nothing to be angry about. There's nothing to be stressed about right now. And I was worried about that for the show. Look at this. Trevor Noah straight up saying it's faux anger. Slow clap, Trevor. Slow clap. Trevor Noah, Bill Maher now coming out and saying, yeah, economy's doing great. Trevor Noah saying it's faux anger. They want him to be angry for his show. He says, I was worried about that for the show. They know you have to be mad at Trump for ratings. So what do you think happens? These celebrities, personalities, who don't actually care about politics, they don't care about Trump, want fans, want an audience, so they act outrage. They pretend to be distressed. But then regular people get distressed. These people are sociopaths destroying the fabric of society. I know it's a bit hyperbolic, but they're crazy people. And look, you got to be nuts if you want to be a celebrity. Seriously, these people who are in the public light, it is torturous. Like anybody who says they want this, there's something wrong with them. No, it is not fun having people know who you are and threaten you and know where you live. It is awful. It is absolutely awful. It's one of the reasons why I'm setting up this van. I'm going to go drive to the woods and chill out and go fishing. I can still work and then go fishing and not have anybody know where I live, so I don't have to feel threatened by people who are actually sending me things. He says, we're always angry about something. If there's nothing important to be angry about, we'll find something dumb to be angry about. Kimmel said in agreement, somebody will put pineapple on pizza and we'll lose our minds. Good on you, Jimmy. Good on you. It's about time people start realizing how insane they've gotten. Because I am really worried when you see mainstream television. If you watched the main segment I did on the Tim Pool channel, the mainstream is jumping in with the mob and encouraging an escalation in the tensions and conflict. That's not a good thing. Not a good thing for anybody. I like this. The Comedy Central star then pivoted to the Trump presidency and acknowledged a trait rarely seen in politics. Then when Donald Trump was elected and then proceeded to do what he had promised, ironically, right? Because it's funny that Donald Trump would be the first presidential candidate to actually deliver. Hate him or love him, he's done things that he said he was going to do. Yep. What's going to be interesting for me in 2020 is this new narrative and this new discussion around the Democratic Party. Because for a long time, it's just been one storyline. Donald Trump, Noah said at a South by Southwest panel in March. But now it's going to be, who are the Democrats? Who do they stand for? What are their plans? We're going to be at the conventions. We're going to be tracking the primaries, Noah said. We're going to go where there's access. Yes. Who are the Democrats? I don't know. Because Trump is actually more moderate than Republicans before him. And this is the big challenge presented to Democrats. If Trump is adopting your border policy from 2012, 2007, what do you run on? You got to go to the left. Trump's policy on the border is not too dissimilar from Democrats in, 2011, 2008. We've seen all the speeches. So what do they say? It's morally wrong to build a wall. Makes no sense. Not an argument, okay? I'm not saying the wall is the right thing to do. I'm not saying Trump's policies make sense, but the Democrats certainly aren't arguing anything. So it comes now to Trevor Noah. Don't take my word for it. It's not my opinion. I think it's really funny when these lefties are like, Tim Pool's a conservative for talking about these things. Oh, is Trevor Noah conservative now for defending the president? You weird, crazy people? No, Bill Maher and Trevor Noah are not conservatives. You've just been radicalized and have lost your minds. We'll end this segment here. I got some more coming up shortly. Stick around, and I will see you soon.